allergy medication. So hopefully, although the wind is blowing right now and I'm looking at things flying around, I'm thinking, allergy medication or not, I'm probably going to end up sneezing my ass off during during today's live stream. But I want to talk to you today about this identity you have, which is like this identification of being the responsible one. Okay, you are the responsible one. And one of the things that I've learned about the women that are coming into life coaching in particular is that we tend to be responsible, right? So we didn't come to coaching by accident. We've gone through a lot of things and we've managed to hold it all together, right? And, you know, for people like you, you've probably been through all sorts of things and you don't talk about it. You downplay the impact those things have had on you. It's like you live through trauma, you live through tragedy, and you keep that stiff upper lip. You don't complain. And I think that's really, really admirable. But I think that it also has to be acknowledged that this becomes a part of your identity. You know, you kind of might say, other people are it's better to focus on other people. I think also you probably learned to be responsible early in childhood. You know, maybe your home was chaotic or your parents weren't emotionally available or something like that. Maybe you had a sick sibling. That's a thing as well, right? And maybe your family rewarded being quiet and capable. And so early on, you learned that really the best way to move through the world was to be that dependable, helpful, and strong one. And it's how you actually survived and how you succeeded. Now, here you are, you're this adult, and you've built a life on that identity. You're the one that people lean on at home, at work, in your community. And you know how to handle it. You know how to take charge. You know how to make things happen. You're very, very good at that, okay? But this becomes your kind of, again, your identity. And this is where the problem actually starts that I want to talk about today. Because when you live your life as the person who is best at carrying everything, it becomes threatening to imagine putting something down. And especially if you perceive that something as being someone else's need, right? It's like you think about putting your child's need down, that becomes like very, very difficult to conceive of. And I understand why that is, okay? But the thing that I want you to kind of question is it realistic? Is it realistic to actually think that way? Is it true that not answering every single need is sometimes a fault? Or is there a way for you to maybe delegate or to handle that need in a different way? And are you actually addressing what really needs to be addressed? I mean, giving yourself 15 minutes to work on something that's important to you. I know a lot of women who are very successful in their lives and they cannot fathom giving themselves that 15 minutes until they're sick or they are broken down. And I think that's a little scary because it's not actually powerful. It's like building an entire house of like these incredible materials, but not understanding that adding, and you think, oh, I'm going to add more bricks, I'm going to add more stuff. This is an incredibly strong house that I've built, and it can handle it. I can handle it, okay? But you don't understand that there's a crack in the foundation, and even though she's holding it together, other things are becoming weaker while, she's just bearing more and more weight. I know that it feels like a conflict. I know that. And it's not like you don't want it. You do want it. You're not afraid, okay, of actually, I don't think that you're afraid of, you're never afraid of not being able to handle stuff, right? Like, you can handle it. You can do it all. But there is a fear that if you don't do it all, it's not going to get done. If you don't do it, and if you don't do it your way, it's not going to get done. I hear a lot of people say, I can't afford to be selfish. And, they need me. Oh, there's too much going on. But what I think is really happening, it's not really about the logistics. It's more about identity. So there's a version of you that has always been the helper. That's your identity. And you are the one who absorbs everyone's pain. You are the strong ones, and you take value through your responsibility. And you don't really know how to step aside and make room for other people to be able to help you. And you don't even know how to really step aside to even let God come in and help you out, And I think part of what you've got to do is understand that this part of you that takes on all this responsibility is super valuable. Don't get me wrong. You are valuable, and people do need you, but it doesn't have to be that way. This is something that you guys are co-creating, and you as the leader can also choose to lead in a different type of co-creation. And what I'm talking about is you not worrying so much about what's going on with them, but you changing yourself. And this is what I'm going to be talking about a lot over the next couple of months. It's about understanding that you might need a new identity. And again, I don't want to make this there's something wrong with your identity. I'm just saying that when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it doesn't the caterpillar isn't gone. As a matter of fact, the caterpillar, the butterfly retains part of the caterpillar's memory, right? And the butterfly has incorporated parts of the caterpillar's essence through its own consumption of the caterpillar, right? So, and the butterfly uses the caterpillar's remains to fuel its own growth. That's how the legs get stronger. That's how the wings get more vibrant. So what we want to do is consider that you have the opportunity to give birth to another identity that is different. Oh shit. Oh my God. That is different than what you thought, than who you think you are. And for those of you who want to become life coaches, right? I know a lot of the people who are watching this video have a dream of becoming a coach and starting your own business, and you are the responsible one, and you want to allow that to happen, but you are also burdened with the identity of responsibility. And so the problem is that responsible self is always going to make itself more responsible even when it doesn't have to. This is important to understand. So your job right now is to simply let this idea in. Let yourself start to consider that maybe you don't have to be burdened by responsibility. Maybe that's a mindset. And maybe that all you need to do to change your life and to change your environment and your circumstances, and also change the circumstances of the people around you, is to simply shift your identity, shift your mindset, and then shift your identity. And I'll be talking about how to do that in the coming live streams. All right, friend. I'm going to go ahead and sign off.